In this video we'll show you how you can build in search and replace features into your grid in version 11. So you can see here we have a simple grid, and I've got a button here now that I've defined, and we'll go through how it was defined later in the video. That when I click will open up a search and replace section. So this button over here has been defined using Action Javascript to do a search and replace in the company field. So I'm going to go and search for Microsoft and replace with Alpha Software, and then I'm going to go ahead and click the Do It button, and you can see that Microsoft got replaced in those two records over there, and the records are now dirty, and I can go ahead now and commit those records to the database. So let's go take a look now at how this was actually done. So first of all, this HTML here has been placed in a freeform edit region. So let's go now to the freeform edit region above the grid, and you can see here what we have is a simple HTML table which contains two input controls. One input control where the user types in the search value, another input control where the user types in the replace value, and these two controls have IDs of search and replace respectively. Also, I've got a button here which was defined using Action JavaScript. It's an action button, and we'll go into the definition of that button in a few seconds. And then also you can see that the whole table itself has been wrapped in a div. The div has an ID of search div, and it's initially set to display none, which means it's initially hidden. And then I have another button underneath this hidden div, which in the onClick event calls the built-in Alpha 5 JavaScript function called A5 animation toggle, which is going to basically toggle the visibility of this div over here. So I'm toggling the visibility of search div, and I'm using the drop and fade animation methods. So now let's go take a look at how this search and replace button was defined. So I'll go there to edit actions, and you can see here's my JavaScript. So when I bring up the builder, you can see it's using a new action called global search and replace, which is just one of the actions listed in Action JavaScript. So if I edit this action, you can see that we've chosen to operate on the company field, but we could also have set that to current field, which would have been the field that currently has focus. And we're going to read the search value from an element called search, and we're going to read the replace element from an element called replace. So as you recall earlier when I showed you the HTML in the freeform edit region, we had two input controls, one with an ID of search and one with an ID of replace. So this is where we're telling Alpha 5 where to read the search value and replace value from. Here you can see we specified that we want to replace all instances in the field. So if the word, for example, Microsoft appeared more than once in the field, we'd be replacing all of those instances. And then we want to do a case insensitive search. We want to update all visible rows. We could basically operate on all visible rows, all visible existing rows, all visible new record rows, or just checked rows. And then finally we can specify whether we'd like to prompt for confirmation. So let's go ahead now and do that, turn that on and save that, and let's go ahead now and run it just as we did before. So we'll go there now, and now we'll prompt for confirmation. So let's go ahead and see what happens. So we're going to be replacing alpha with gamma, so we'll click Do It now. And you can see there's my first prompt in row 1, and there's my second prompt for row 4. I hope you found this useful. Thank you very much.